Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Friday edition of Moohead Radio. I'm your host, Mr. Moohead. Joining me in the studio is Mr. Moose, and we
Mouse.
will be talking about whatever the hell it is we talk about. I'm sure Cavaliers and Browns, as that's what's on the radar right now. Certainly not watching Stephen Kwan try to basically lift a twig at this point in his career. We're not going to be dealing with Stephen Kwan and muscle wasting disease. Got a lot to say, and none of it's good, really, as far as the Cavaliers are concerned. I wanted to start out the program sharing a video with you, and I think, hey, Chubba Wubba Hub, how you doing? This becomes problematic. Let me get it up here and
Get it up.
wait.
Get on up.
No. That's not what we want.
Stay on the scene.
Gene. All right, let's see if this will work. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yep. I got it. All right.
It's Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah, and this I just want to play this back because I've got something to play after this, and then I will want to.
Is he dyeing his hair? It looks darker there.
Oh, I don't give a shit what he does. To be very honest with you, fuck him in the ass. I'm
fuck yourself.
No. I'm
Okay,
just.
you sound
let me
angry,
play
Cal.
it. Let me play it. Let me play it, and then you make the determination. Here we go.
You're an angry cow.
But again, give them credit. I thought they imposed their will, though, right? Like it's like, it's halftime. It's we took a punch, we came back, it's time, and that beginning of the third quarter, they just I think they took a rebound out of our hands. They drove it kind of right down our throats. The force was just way on their side. Their ability to kind of be the more aggressive team, just kind of that simple. We'll clean up the tactical things, but in terms of doing the dirty work stuff we talked about, and the defense has got to be better. Fourth quarter, that wasn't that. Then we started missing coverages, got backdoored, lost our focus.
All right. To hell with him. So that's Kenny Atkinson's comments after the game. All right. But I'm not done with the comments after the game. Here are your stars of the game, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. It's very hard for me to even keep composure about this crap because it's Deja vu all over again. All right. Here we go. And listen to what these clowns have to say.
What do you guys have to do over the next 2 days to respond to this?
Well, I think the biggest thing is one, not overreact, right? It's one loss. It's the sky isn't falling. I understand that we weren't going to go 16-0 if we're trying to achieve what we want to achieve. And you give credit where credit is due, and then we go back and fix it. And like I said, I think it really just starts with our force. Obviously, we'll go back and watch the game and figure things out, but tactically. But I think the biggest thing is, you acknowledge they protected home court, and then it's just how do we respond. That's my biggest thing, and we'll go back and look at it and figure it out. Even myself, James.
All right, that's what he had to say for himself, and for the team. That's our team leader. I want to point out something, and I've spoken a lot in the past about how I've lived, what I've done, and there's another flip side of the whole thing, and that's the part that and I've talked about this in years past about that I flunked out of 2 different universities, and because I was undisciplined, and because I had basically a free ride because I came from a good home, hardworking parents. And I pissed that opportunity away because I honestly didn't feel that that's where I was supposed to be. But at the same time, I really didn't give it much of an opportunity. And failure is something that is supposed to teach you something. But I got to be honest about this. I got out of the second college that I got thrown out of, and I started realizing how tough life was when I was knocking on doors trying to sell radio advertising in Canton, Ohio, and selling for a gospel radio station, WTOF, the Tower of Faith Radio in Canton, Ohio, when I was 22 years old, and getting doors slammed in my face, getting people, I'm not interested, just get the hell out of here, you're bothering me. Who invited you into my store? And I started realizing that it wasn't just a matter of fucking off and skipping classes and doing what I wanted to do. I had to earn a goddamn living. The first thing that I did was I moved out of my parents' house to force myself to have to support myself. Now, the part of this that is going to really bother me more than anything else is that I made a promise to myself when I was 22 years old that I would never quit anything ever again. That would never happen. I would not just give up. So it came in pretty handy because by the time I was 5 years older than 22, you can do the math unless you're Donald Trump. You can do the math. That would mean 27. I had to ship off out of Ohio and go to Tennessee and to go to the state of Washington and to go to Illinois and take my bumps and bruises on the road. I didn't quit nothing. Got fired. I never quit nothing. Sold the radio property that my father graciously gave me an opportunity to possess. And that was in Danville, Illinois. So that I could learn the tools of the trade, so to speak. By the time I was 30 years of age, I was in Flint, Michigan, had my own radio stations, and my father was my 50% partner because he had helped me. I wasn't going to quit on him either. Quitting didn't enter into the equation. 9.5 years in Michigan. I did what it took to get the job done. I learned from mistakes and I never gave up. Same thing in upstate New York. For the 3 years I was up there before I had to sell the radio stations because of consolidation of radio assets in America, I never quit anything. Now, the government quit on me. They allowed all the rich boys and all the big mega companies to own all the radio stations. But it was fortunate because what they ended up with was a dying medium. And I was really at that point fortunate to have gotten out. I didn't quit. I've been doing this goddamn program for over 25 years. And people say, you're old. I'm getting this shit on Twitter, on X. You're old. What do we need to listen to you for? Because I don't fucking quit. That's why. Because what I start, I finish. And if I have my way, the day that there isn't a Moohead radio show, I'll be dead. You'll find out somewhere on social media, my wife will post that I died, and that's why there's not any shows anymore. I don't quit. I don't quit because people say you're old, you're washed up, you don't have any kind of things to say, You don't know enough about analytics. You don't know enough about baseball statistics. I know more about life than you wet behind the ears of the last wipes. That's the bottom line. The stuff that I'm watching is pathetic. You got a head coach of a team just matter-of-factly saying, yeah, they wanted it more. They wanted it more. Doesn't that say that the problem is with you? Aren't you supposed to prepare your team? Every year they're in the playoffs. Somebody wants it more than they do. And fuck Donovan Mitchell. Fuck him. He'll never win anything. He's a quitter. He's a talented player, but he forgives himself. And you can't forgive yourself. You can't do it. Because the second you acquiesce and you forgive yourself, then you can always forgive yourself again. It's just one game. No, it isn't, Donovan. It's been every important game in your run in Cleveland that this team has faced in the playoffs. It's the same fucking thing. You beat teams who are way less talented than you are, and as soon as you face the monster, you grovel and you make excuses. Yesterday's game was pathetic. It was the most embarrassing thing that I could have imagined. When you have a chance to take somebody out, you take them out. And they came out frantically, the Raptors, but they weren't playing well. Oh, but we got them all comfortable, didn't we? It's like, geez, we're still not playing our best basketball, the Raptors said, but look at the Cavaliers. They think they're just going to be able to turn it on for one half and beat us. Fuck them. And they did. They fucked us up the bunghole and embarrassed this team the same way that the Pacers embarrassed them last year. And the reason is they quit. They quit. And you even heard Kenny say it. And by the end, we were missing assignments and we were. That's called quitting, Kenny. You got a team full of quitters and you're an apologist for the quitters. You can be fans. That's fine. Because when I'm a fan, I say I want my team to win. And I want them to give the best account of themselves that they can. I want for that. And it's a wonderful thing to win a championship. It's something that athletes would never forget in their life. But it's no different. If you quit, like I did in college, it only gets harder, man. Because your reputation will go to shit. All the arguments that I've seen, this guy's better than that guy. I mean, Donovan Mitchell is better than, or Evan Mobley is better than Scotty Barnes. If I hear that fucking shit one more time, Scotty Barnes took him to the woodshed and took his bride-to-be and humped her in front of him. That's the bottom line. When you quit something, it becomes easier to quit. And you'll have all kinds of excuses. But there are no excuses, God damn it. There are no excuses except you're a bunch of fucking quitters. And that means I'm not a fan of people who are quitters. I'm not a fan of my young self because I was a quitter. You can turn it around. You can get some steel in your spine. You can do something to stand up and rise up and say, I'm better than this, and then prove it. I don't want to hear you're better than this and you go out and do what they did. Fuck that. It is so ridiculous. Do you realize that we let a bunch of skanky, scaggy, unexperienced players like CMB Boyle and like
Jamison Battle of
Battle.
Ohio State University, who was undrafted and was like an afterthought on the Ohio State team, and he fucking went 5 for 5 from 3 points.
And he battled. Just ask
He
Kevin
battled.
Stefanski. He battled.
Yeah, go back and watch the tapes. He battled.
He was wide open and left alone, and so
Yeah,
was
he
CMB.
left alone.
They're taking set shots with nobody near them. What in the hell? Do you think they're automatically going to miss?
Exactly.
These players are delusional. They're not even trying to play defense. They're trying to win in the easiest way.
Possible. Yes, they are trying to win in the easiest way possible.
And fuck them. Fuck them. They deserve to lose. They deserve to lose the series. When you go to a team's home floor, that's the time, man. That's like going in to as a fighter into the fighter's hometown, and they're hyping that little bitch like there's no tomorrow. And you can get into that ring and say, you know, here's who I am, and this is what I can do. And you rise to the occasion. Not this team. Hell to the gnaw. No way. This team stepped in and thought, well, you know, we absorbed their best punch in the first half. And they've said this. This is what the players are saying. We absorbed their punch in the first half, so we were going to come out and get them in the second half. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. You play like there's only today. Donovan Mitchell, I got a personal message for you from experience. Nobody's going to deliver the message because he'll never hear it from me. And the message is simple. There is no tomorrow. You may get another contract to play someplace else, but you'll never have a championship because you don't have a champion's heart. Period. You got to prove that you do. Besides scoring points in the fourth quarter, you got to figure out other ways to motivate the players around you. Same thing with James the Beard Statue Harden. You know, you want to drive down the court and fall on the baseline acting like you're fouled and then not get up and cover a man on the other end of the floor? Fuck you. You got enough money. You don't need to be wasting my time. It's pathetic. They've earned nothing. And that's the point. Championships are earned. They're not just handed to you. And it isn't based upon, well, these are the power ratings of the teams. It isn't based on that. And these guys don't understand it. The coach doesn't understand it. And Dan Gilbert has already had one stroke.
Wow.
You don't need this shit. Get rid of them. You know, it's if you want to have a winning record during the regular season and then fall upon this, they should be so raging angry at this. They're even at the half after playing like shite in the first half because Toronto was frantic. They weren't good. They were just frantic. And the Cavaliers laid back, missing 3-point shots and just kind of, playing with themselves, you know.
They look like moose and squirrel out there, you know?
Yeah, they just were playing around. And they thought, oh, we can just put our foot down on the pedal anytime we want. Yeah. And that's just not the case. And you saw now what they've done is they've emboldened their opponent. Now the Raptors know they can beat the Cavaliers in this series. And they know how. And you know how they did it, Kenny Atkinson? The same thing they did in the last 3-4 minutes of the previous game. I mean, if you can't, and I talked about this on the air. I talked about it online. I said they're going to come out frantic because that's what, you know, we broke down. Our defense down low broke down. And they're going to break us down that way. Unless we respond. We were so close, one half away from just terminating this team. And instead now it's a whole new bright, shiny day for them, and they're going to win the series. And I'm cheering for them to win because if this is all the harder that this Cavaliers team can try, they don't deserve to go any further. if guys like Battle and CMB and one-way Barrett, who can only go to his left hand, are scoring points like there's no tomorrow. If Scotty Barnes looks like a Hall of Famer, you got a fucking problem on your hand. Where were they in the paint? Where were they altering shots? They're not covering back cuts and they're getting layups. What is this?
Yeah.
They flat out quit. And I don't, as a fan, cheer for quitters. That's what I have to say about the Cleveland Cavaliers. And there's always a chance. There is a chance. There is always a chance that you can make good. But you gotta stop forgiving yourself. You got to carry a load on your back, and you got to carry your failure like men. That's what makes winners. And that's why people who grew up in billion-dollar environments, they can afford to just inherit money.
Fart around and do nothing. And
yeah, here's the end of my story. My father helped me by using his good name at a bank to get the money that was necessary to buy the first radio station. The second radio station was purchased based on the economic strength of the first radio station that we owned at the time. And I was the one doing that work. And by the time the second radio station came around in Michigan, that was bought with the proceeds of what was sold in Illinois. And then by the time the Michigan station sold, that completely paid for the other 4 FM radio stations that were purchased in upstate New York. And you know something? The proudest thing I ever did in my life was to be able to give my family back what they gave me. That was the most important thing because I let them down. They wanted me to be a doctor, a lawyer. They wanted me to be a professional man and an educated man. And I was smart enough to do it. I didn't want to do it, but I could have done it in a much better way. I could have just handled it better. But in the end, I did something that paid them back. And the heartbreak of it is my mother never got to know it because she had Alzheimer's disease and she never got to see what her youngest son made of himself. And I carry and will carry that to my grave because I wish to God that she'd seen it. So you live with the consequences, gentlemen. You got another game. If you play like this, fans aren't going to be interested in you anymore, except to write bad things about you on the internet. That's my take on the Cavaliers. What do you think, Bronk?
wow, you're perfectly entitled. Yeah, you're perfectly entitled for that opinion. I mean, I don't know. I can't add anything to that game. I was watching it on Prime on my television I have next to me, and then on the internet I was watching the NFL draft, and I thought, my God, neither one of these are very entertaining. And yeah, Toronto. How, as a coach, Kenny Atkinson can go up and have those comments? He would be destroyed if he did that with an English football team. if you were an English football manager in the Football League or the Premier League or whatever, and you had that sort of post-game conference, you'd get absolutely moored. You'd be just, I can't. I mean, I have so many things I can compare it to, but nobody will know what the fuck I was talking about, so I'm not going to bother. But you just have to have more fire in your belly, which is what you spent the past half an hour or 25 minutes saying. And if you don't, then how can you be a champion? The meaning of champion is that you are the best of your people and you can defend your people against all comers out there in the world. That's what a champion is. That's what the original meaning of it. For the king had his champion. He was the top fighter in the kingdom, the champion. So if that's what you want to be, then you have to really not only be better than everybody else, but you have to prove it too. You can't do it on paper. You have to prove it. No one on the Cavaliers hit 20 points last night, but they did hit a lot of minus 20s on their plus minus. Virtually every single starter was like in double figures on their minus. And that, unless you're hurt, unless you're crippled, you can't do that against a team that has less talent than you. And talent doesn't win all the time. Talent will get you
Fire.
through. You know, talent will get you through a lot of things, but at some point, you actually have to prove that you are better. You don't have to just look like you're better. You have to prove it. And
I'll say one more thing about NBA before I get out of this whole thing and move on to the Cleveland
I mean,
Browns.
there's a lot of other teams that are fucking struggling. You know, the Celtics are playing tonight, and they're fucking 1-1, and they have to go into Philadelphia. We'll see how they do in their game.
Philadelphia doesn't have Joel Hans Embiid, and Maxey and Edgecombe are not going to keep making 70% of their 3-point shots.
And neither is Jameson Battle and Scotty Barnes and all that.
If you don't guard them, though, they will.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to make them miss.
We don't know what's going to happen, is what I'm saying.
And I'm saying the Celtics have more character than the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they'll go in and they'll bury the 76ers under a deluge of bombs. And as far as you want to talk about the same thing from another perspective, the people in New York are sitting there asking themselves, why do we keep believing that the New York Knicks, I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, at this point, he's like as agile as a moving van. I mean, did you see the final play?
Bear. Yeah, I did.
I mean, what they have 12 and a half seconds to win the game inbound. Yep. I mean, the Hawks got the ball, inbounded it, took the shot. It was 16 and a half seconds left in the game. They only ran 4 seconds. They got the 109-108 lead, and timeout. We got an inbounds play. And I mean, what were they doing? It was like 52 pickup. Nobody, they never even got a shot off. How is that possible? They threw the ball backwards and threw it away. What in the fuck? And you're wondering why the New York Knicks don't win? Because they have no fucking character. They don't.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm saying there's a lot of teams in the same boat. I think it's a cultural thing with this generation of NBA players, really. You know, you see LeBron at 41 still really trying and still making the players around him better, even if they're like marginal players. But you don't see anybody else doing that.
Yeah.
Name a top player that is making the other players on his team better that surround him?
It's all individual effort, and it's my next contract, and what city can I go to? That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So that I think is the root of this. I mean, you're right to chastise Donovan Mitchell for what he said now, how he was, but he's not. I mean, there are the max contract people out there. They're all like Donovan Mitchell. You know, I mean, I don't think there's anything you can have a go at Donovan by all means, and
I'm just telling because he's on the team that I'm a fan of,
yes, exactly, and he's the self-appointed leader. Well, he's not fucking leading, and we've said this before. He's not a leader. He's not the captain of the Yankees. I've said this way too many times. So yeah, I mean, it's the problem is with the generation. You know, I see the old man yelling at the cloud here, but you know, we may be we're not a crackpot, but we are right.
Yeah. And Rick May, that is correct. They are auditioning for their next stop.
Yeah,
and
so
if they can get on a team with 3 superstars, they'll get more publicity.
Yeah,
Will they
exactly.
actually win? No.
No.
But winning is making money, having beautiful wives and models and beautiful
if
big
Austin
houses.
Hedges can have some 21-year-old Instagram model for his wife, and he bats 150 every year, then life's good. Really, why rock the boat?
Now,
No.
there are people who play for the Hall of Fame. There are people who play for the money. There's people who play for the notoriety. And there are real players who
love
play
the game.
truly to win by playing the game the right way.
And loved playing. Actually loved the game.
And we criticize the one from Cleveland who brought the championship to Cleveland.
And who is still doing it.
And that's because the generation, and I'm going to fight back at this point, you young, wet behind the ear idiots, you don't know. You don't know dick. The reason you're sitting behind a microphone like this and you're not making a viable living is because you're not even giving of yourself. You're not even getting out there and trying to do more. The reason these people have been caged into Cleveland sports for so long, I chose to do it in retirement. You're doing it for a living? What kind of a fucking loser are you? Get on with your life. You're seeing people like Terry Pluto. Why didn't he fucking go somewhere and do something with his life? And the reason, he's mediocre or sub-mediocre. And all of the people on these podcasts are sub-mediocre. Unless they're doing it out of like what I'm doing it for. I mean, but if your career is to be on like the Wine and Gold Report or the Brown and Orange Report or the OBR or whatever, if that's everything you're trying to do in life, fuck you. Don't tell me I'm old and haven't been there.
Yeah,
Don't
you're
tell me
better
that.
off giving French fries to people, instead of doing, working on that. That's no.
All right, here's your headline. Andrew Berry did it again. The Browns NFL draft trade was emblematic of his approach.
Sounds like propaganda from Cleveland.com.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But what does it mean?
I don't know these players. I'll say that straight away. So I don't know whether they're all pro or whether they're Tony Mandrich and Cab Calloway. But
well, I find it interesting. The praiseworthy, he did it again. And his trade down, the famous trade down, was emblematic of his approach. He got extra picks, and isn't he a wise guy? All right, that's the thing. Now, I say yes, he did it again.
He did it again.
He walked away from the number 6 pick, took the number 9 pick, got a good offensive lineman, which he's done well getting offensive linemen. And then when he has to get the wide receiver, he gets a guy who has a problem dropping balls in college. An undersized guy who's fast as fuck, who can return punts and catches balls and can make some yardage.
I don't want to quibble about 5'11" and being undersized, but I hope he's not like all the other fuckers that we have seen that drop balls. I don't want another Anthony Schwartz or.
Well, no, he's certainly better than Anthony Schwartz, but I mean, a dead rodent in the road was better than Anthony Schwartz.
Yeah, Corey Coleman or Casey Coleman or whatever the fucking Coleman he was, and the other guy that was on drugs and all, Josh Gordon and all that.
What's funny is this.
He can play great shortstop, Concepcion. That's what I thought.
Yeah, Davey. Hey, Davey.
Hey, Davey.
Andrew Berry did it again. What has he done? What has he accomplished? It's a results-oriented world, folks.
Yep.
It isn't Donovan Mitchell sitting in front of the mic saying, "Yeah, we just got to be better," and I'm a star. I'm a star. I'm a star. It's more than that. And Andrew Berry did it again. That's what he did. And Casey Concepcion, I can't tell you what the future is for him. I'm telling you why teams backed off of him was because he had a 10% drop rate in his last season at college. Now, that's that.
And what was it, Texas Tech or wherever?
Yeah. And
I mean, that's hardly big pressure games. Like if you were playing in the Big Ten championship game and you were dropping passes, then that's another thing. I mean, I don't know what they're fucking doing. 5D chess.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and here's the other thing. And Jeffrey, I love my listeners.
We love you, Cleveland.
Yeah, he can make big plays, and he can make big plays at Texas Tech. Yes, he can. And can he make big plays in the NFL? I don't know whether he can.
I hope he can.
But to be honest with you, with the way this team is set up right now, how many big plays do you expect there's going to be time for the quarterback to make?
Yeah.
And
I know.
And based upon, and everyone talks about, multiple surgeries and Deshaun Watson is looking good and standing there and just throwing lob passes to people.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The problem with him was his feet.
Yeah.
He couldn't move like he did, and he lacked escapability.
Yeah.
And that doesn't get better as you get older after multiple surgeries. And Todd Monken said he wants a more mobile quarterback and big plays. How do big plays factor in with a completely new offensive line, a completely new quarterback, and completely new receiver? And amidst all of it, the worst teammate in history, Jerry Jeudy. I mean, who cares? Big plays, fuck big plays. To be honest with you, my friend, fuck big plays. I want good plays and effort throughout a game. I want to control the line of scrimmage. I want to have a running game so that if there are going to be big plays, we'll be able to hit it. But you know something? Isaiah Bond is real fast and he can make big plays, but that doesn't make him the kind of receiver that the Cleveland Browns need. But we go and we do the same thing over and over again. We find the littlest shrimps that we possibly can find, and these guys all think they're going to be something, but when they get into the NFL, they realize it's faster, it's more physical, and the defenders now are bigger than they are. And they get redirected in their patterns. How many times did you see Browns receivers stopping in the middle of their patterns because they were literally just, it was obvious what they were going to do and they couldn't do it? And how many times, I would rather have a wide receiver, honest to God, Jeffrey, I would rather see a wide receiver who has the native intelligence to come back to the quarterback when the play breaks down, rather than stand out in the middle of the field and say, I was open for a little while. Yeah. Help out your teammates. Don't play for yourself. There are guys, 11 on each side of the ball, plus all the other people, special teamers and the second units. You're all playing for one another, man. It's just, I
suppose this guy is like Isaiah Bond, really.
Well, that was the reason why Isaiah Bond was given a chance, and he did beat some people down the field when Shador was throwing passes deep, because our other quarterback can't get it downfield. He wound up like a 1920s fucking pitcher, Dylan Gabriel.
He did with the big leg kick and everything.
Yeah. I mean, and straight up in the air, he threw an ephus pitch. I mean, come on. I mean, what is a receiver going to do about that? And
I have no idea who they draft. This looks like really weak players that are left too. I mean,
Well, it's not the
it
biggest.
doesn't look very good. Anybody who's left.
It's not the best draft in history, but there will always be surprises, and people will turn out to be much better. And a lot of teams that get lucky will get lucky, and somebody will be given credit as being a genius for doing what they do. I know everyone likes Denzel Boston, but I like Casey Concepcion more because he has more upside. Denzel Boston has not even been drafted yet because he's not fast enough. Okay. The idea here in today's NFL is to get big physical receivers who can run.
Yeah.
That's what you got to have primary guys like that. And then, I mean, if you didn't have such a doofus as the head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, he had it right. He had T. Higgins and then he had Chase. And you got, but Chase is a guy who can run and he can get up for the ball and out jump,
and beat defenders to pulp.
Yeah. And to assert himself physically, these little guys can't assert themselves in any way. I'm not going to tell you that this is the greatest group of wide receivers. I don't know if you had the opportunity. I want to see if I can find another video here. It's just this is great. I mean, let me get rid of this one.
I mean, between having the Cavs game on my larger telly and fucking Rich fucking Eisen, who I absolutely detest, on my PC at the same time. At 4:00 in the morning. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I do this shit. But anyway,
now this is just the kind of thing that, and the reason I'm putting this up is because there is a racial hatred against Shedeur Sanders, and
also Andrew Berry. I've noticed.
I mean,
gets a lot of
we're living in a time where it's completely acceptable just to basically write people off because of whatever race they represent. And the bottom line is that you can criticize on that basis if you want. And I'm going to be honest, Shedeur Sanders is not a well-spoken young man. All right. And he didn't go to college to get a big degree and go to a law firm. Okay.
No, he didn't.
Okay. We've got that together. Can he play football or can't he? Because that's what he was in college for. He played for his father, and can he play football or can't he? And until we play him, we won't really know because nobody won with the players who were on the field last year.
No.
And everybody knew that it was Stefanski's final stand, and that was the end of it. All right. So you say to yourself, well, we could have gotten Boston, but we could have gotten Mekhi Lemon, by God. We could have done it. And here is what Cleveland Browns fans say about Shedeur Sanders. Let's talk about the new Stevie Wonder, okay?
Oh my God.
This is, no, I'm being dead serious. This is the new Stevie Wonder. You ready?
Okay.
Right. From the first time you ever put on pads and a helmet to this moment right here, being a first-round pick in the NFL draft, what has defined your journey?
Man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm just so blessed right now. You know, I just praise the Lord for every moment, really. It's a dream come true. I can't even believe this right now.
When you look out at those Philly fans and you think about the fan base that's about to embrace you with open arms, what will they love most about you?
Hey, they getting the door. It's ready to work, for real. I ain't doing no plan.
Thank you, Mekhi. Congratulations.
Wasted.
La, 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 la.
What you want to do is pick out from like 1979 some ropey Chuck Mangione video where he was absolutely high playing Feels So Good. That's what that reminds me of. The dude's wasted, man.
I don't know. I mean, so you just drafted him, right?
That had to be very. Were they like the second last pick or something? Was because that had to be towards the.
No, I think
end.
Makai Lemon went at number 20. And
I,
the
I,
reason he
I
dropped
must
to
have
number
missed
20,
that.
he's got a lot of physical abilities, but he didn't score well in the interview room. I'm not joking. I'm being serious.
I don't. They probably don't do the Wonderlic anymore because of people like him.
I mean, it's so. But Browns fans,
That's
got
who you want it.
no. So would you have been ripping on him like you rip on Shador because he's like, I'm a real dog, man. I'm a real dog, man. Now, look, this is not the way I speak. It's not the way I communicate. I don't know. It's only important that they're good at what they do. And until they play and get an opportunity, that's the way it works. And, and this is again, this is the South African response. I mean, blacks act a certain way and whites act a certain way. And it's like, no, wait a minute here.
Yeah, which one's better? Earn money now, 72.
Yeah, I don't remember Denzel Washington on the screen going, man, I'm really into this character. That's a caricature. I mean, no, blacks don't act a certain way and whites act a certain way. Now, maybe socialized in a certain way, but look, none of these guys coming out of college who have this kind of ability are there to get their 4-year degrees and to go into Harvard Law School. That's not what they're going to do. And I'll tell you who I respected. And the greatest receiver for the 49ers.
Jerry
Rice. He went to Mississippi Valley State, okay?
Yeah.
I want you earn money now, and I love you because you're my
I love you.
Yep, I love my viewers. There's just so few of you, and
because it's easy to love only a few people.
I think maybe you'll feel differently if you check out the earliest interview that you can find of Jerry Rice between him finishing his career at Mississippi Valley State and going to the 49ers. And then listening to him, 8 years, 10 years later. And he took speech lessons.
He
did. And when he came up, he was virtually unintelligible. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But again, if you're going to try to succeed in life, you can't be a white way or a black way. There's a right way and there's a wrong way. If you don't have the NFL career that you think, Shador's going to maybe he won't have to work because of his family's fortune. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, I'm the first to admit that he's not a well-spoken guy. But neither was Terry Bradshaw. He was the dumbest fucking white man. Earn money now. He was dumb as a stump, and he still is. But man, he threw ropes, man, and he was a good quarterback. There were a bunch. Roman Gabriel, going way back before your time. He was just an idiot. He was vacant. I mean,
it was the whole thing where where people made fun of jocks because they were stupid as fuck.
Yeah,
like
Billy Kilmer,
the Archie program. Yeah,
Billy Kilmer. I mean, he had hangovers on game day.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting a comparison. A lot of people feel that that's why Todd Monken gave his blessing to Casey Concepcion, and I understand that too. But I don't think he had much to say about it, to be honest with you, because Andrew Berry did it again. Andrew Berry's going to do whatever Jimmy Haslam tells him to do.
Yeah, because Jimmy Haslam was right there in the front of the shot every time they showed the Browns draft room, and I wanted to throw things at my television.
Jimmy Haslam is a fucking cracker, and he's there just to be able to show off his prize slaves. Let's be honest about this. And not, Jimmy Haslam's a rotten human being, just a rotten human being. Okay, CO dead. We'll play this game. Who has a larger manhood, Stefanski or Monken? Let's see what happens this year, and I'll answer. Who's doing the banging at the end of the year, right, buddy?
Wow.
Yeah. But I just
It's not who's got the biggest ones, how they use it. Really.
if Makai Lemon is going to go out and catch 80 passes for over 1,000 yards, it doesn't really matter how he talks. Okay. And if Shadur Sanders has a year that he leads Cleveland to 9 wins with what they have, it doesn't matter whether he speaks well or not. But you would hope that they would improve themselves that much more, just like I want the Cavaliers players to do, and just like I want the Browns players to do. There's no reason why you can't keep growing.
Yeah, we all can be better humans. We all can.
But the first thing this guy says, if he was intelligible and if he wasn't doing a Stevie Wonder impression, well, he immediately turns to the Lord, and the Lord ain't going to help him get open or catch passes. I mean, when all is said and done, he will show himself on the field, good or bad. And if you're a Cleveland Cavalier this morning, you showed your ass on the court and you weren't good. All right.
Yeah.
And again, it's Gloria Estefan. There's always tomorrow. In this case, we actually have a chance to say there's a tomorrow. We're going to be able to play this next game in Toronto and show these guys that what we did was a mistake, and we're going to assert ourselves. Every one of these young football players who are drafted, some of them will just recognize, unfortunately, that they lack the talent and skills to make it at this level because it is so damn elite. And I can't tell you who's who. And I can't tell you anything watching stupid first, second, third day kind of stuff. But I really do believe that the comparison that Jeffrey was making with Zay Flowers and Casey Concepcion, the reason that Zay Flowers became as dangerous as he was is he had an escapable quarterback who bought time and was on the same page and was able to fly down the field and make big plays.
Yep, and people were covering their tight end and covering Derrick Henry or whoever was running the ball at that time.
But Deshaun Watson and Shadur Sanders and the little midget Dylan, none of them are escapable quarterbacks, not like you have with Lamar. And that's a unique situation. And Zay Flowers has benefited from it without a doubt. So that's what I my take on all that shit. Then we have day 2 of the draft. Who are the best players after day 1? It's like
they look pretty. They're all like 6.3s on the rating scale. I can't remember that being that bad.
Yeah.
After 32 players,
you got to come up with another offensive lineman. I mean, let's again be honest. Our number 9 pick is a very good college player from Utah, but there are questions about various parts of his size and his length of reach that might make him more effective inside than outside. Yeah. And they're talking about the fact that they can move him around, they can do this, they can do that, but we don't have, and we still won't have, a complete offensive line. But, you hope that he's going to be as good as what Schlesinger was, and that it will translate into the pro game. But I think that it's a step up from Utah to playing in the pros. He's got all of the raw materials to be an effective offensive lineman in the NFL, but we need more than one. And you're not going to be able to get away with bozos like we've had, or injured old people. This is we're starting up again. It's a restart on the offensive line. and we got to be able to run the ball, or else, I mean, Casey Concepcion's not going to make a difference in tight spaces trying to out struggle and out fight defenders over a 10-yard pattern. It's not what it's going to work.
He ain't going to look very good in a jet sweep either if there's nobody out there blocking for him. So, I don't know.
Well, you're going to find out everything you need to know about the quarterbacks on the team. And let's be honest, the Deshaun Watson thing, I mean, this thing has played itself out. If he's the starting quarterback, there's no future in this. You're not going to pay this guy a second time. You gotta add a third quarterback, and it can't be Dylan Gabriel, who's just tiny and is just not. He's slow-footed.
Or Kenny Pickett, or
Yeah,
we're going to end up with Snoop Huntley again.
Well, you're going to end up with somebody like that because that's going to be your third string quarterback. But you got to find out who can play, and yeah, it would be nice to have a center, wouldn't it? Absolutely. But there are many good offensive linemen, as you well know, earn money now. you know that you can find them in the middle rounds. But a lot of these guys, it takes them a couple of years to really get the nuances. They have the skills, but they don't know what they're up against until they get up against it. So,
Well, the trend has been that edge rushers have gotten better and better and better and better, and offensive linemen have not kept up with the progress that the defensive line is making in their talent and skills. The game's getting to be a mismatch where the defense is like ruling the game. So be that as it may.
Yeah, I wanted to show something here that I think, if I can pull it up. Good Lord. I'm not finding it.
We might have another 5 quarterback year where DW and Shedeur and Dylan all get hurt.
Well, that
wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, you never know. And I'm not finding what I'm looking for.
Oh, you and Bono. You still haven't found what you're looking for.
Absolutely. I was so just amazed at Makai Lemon. I mean, I've never seen.
I don't know how I missed that because I did have it on. I must have gone down for a pee or something, or was watching.
Oh, I did find what I want to share with y'all before I get out of here.
Because I would have said the same thing. That look, it's Stevie Wonder advertising for Canon camera. Remember that? Yeah. It's so easy that even Stevie Wonder can use it.
Because this is what the Browns are up against. Here's the Dan Patrick Show. Ready? Here we go.
Oh, he's a prick.
What teams draft poorly? Oh, the Browns. I mean, and I'm not just playing to the crowd here. It's the Browns. It's just the Browns. Yeah. And I will say this: I think the Browns drafted poorly last night. We get so caught up in, I'm glad they traded back to get this guy instead because they got an extra draft pick. You're the Browns. You don't draft well. Extra draft picks aren't good for you. So Spencer Fano is a very good player, and he's going to shore up one spot on their offensive line. I'm not a fan of Casey Concepcion as early as they took him. I think small receivers who have drop issues are probably not going to play well in the AFC North. That would be my number one concern with a player like that. So I don't think the Browns draft particularly well. And that's not me being a hater. That's 27 years now of data that says they don't. I don't think the Jets particularly do, but I thought they did last night because they didn't panic. They didn't reach for a quarterback. They didn't overthink it. They got a great player, David Bailey, a world-class tight end, and Kenyon Sadiq, and then one of my favorite players, Omar Cooper Jr. So they're, like we talked about Arizona, the Jets are actually building that infrastructure.
The Jets. Woody Johnson is going to stick his Woody into something and fuck it all up. It's not just that the drafting is bad, the ownership is bad, and it's easy to say, well, the team that drafted poorly, this is the only program that said that the Browns had a bad first round. All right.
Wow.
And this is the only one I could find. And I put it up because it's just a reflex action of just bad mouthing the city.
Yeah,
And-
he's not working. He's had that, like he said, 27 years of saying the same thing.
Right.
You know,
It's an easy take for people.
very easy, lazy take.
And so that's that. And
Wow.
but I don't think the Browns had a bad first day. I really don't. But I think it's all the lens through which you see things, and it's like, well, you see,
Same old Browns.
AB did it again, and it's like, or fuck, he did it again. I mean, it's give me a running game and an offensive line and a decision on who the future quarterback is, or if we have to draft him next year. That's all. That's all this year will be. As far as the Cavaliers, it's a different situation. It's win now.
Yeah, they got to play good on a Sunday afternoon again.
Do you really think that James Harden is going to be around in Cleveland for very long? No. And the reason
You'll
is
still
because
be doing. I would bet that you will be doing your show long after James Harden has left Cleveland.
oh,
That
absolutely.
is-
Absolutely.
that's
He's going to be
all I'm gonna
looking
say.
for the next little ride at the amusement park that will give him some kind of a chance to get a championship. Not that he's willing to really work for it, for Christ's sake, but he will bring the ball up the court slowly, take a wild drive at the basket, and then roll around like a Pentecostal on the baseline and not get back on defense. He will do that for you.
Yeah, he'll knock into a few photographers and then we'll let the other team break 5-on-4. Yeah.
Oh, God. I just can't oblige people who are fortunate enough and first of all, talented enough and then fortunate enough to get into a position. I mean, why don't you just let Donovan Mitchell rot in Utah? You know, just tell him he's going to be imprisoned in Provo and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, but you give him an opportunity and he's still making excuses. Well, fuck that shit. Now look at Utah when you left. And what will happen to the Cavaliers if these guys don't stick in Cleveland, you know, and their agents find someplace else to go? Cleveland will become one of the witouts.
We'll be a cratered team again.
That's right.
And we've had that before.
But at least the owner tries.
Yeah, he tries.
Which is more than I can say for the
He
fucking
doesn't
team.
quit. He doesn't quit. He's had a stroke and he's not quitting.
Yep.
And shout out to anybody who gets my reference. If 6 was 9, if you get that, you're old officially, or you like Jimi Hendrix.
I really don't know. The only thing I know about Jimi Hendrix is he had a very large penis, and somebody made a mold out of it.
Yeah.
That's basically. And you know, I never really got into what was you know.
Purple Haze.
Purple haze and in my brain.
Dwayne Stat does Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, exactly. All along the watchtower. Oh, for God's sakes. Well,
How is Dwayne Stat anyway?
You know something? I don't even know where in the fuck I am anymore because the stadium we're playing in, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here at all. It's the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't even know where we are in the standings. What I do is I take a couple blunts up to the park and I get really high.
And I
really
end up
high.
like Makai London out there.
Higher than Tanner Bybee's fastball.
Oh my God.
That's high.
Rick May's all over it. Acts as bold as love, yeah.
Yep.
He's all over it.
All right, I'm getting out of here because I'm going out to dinner. I got to take a shower first because I am sweaty and I'm angry and I'm agitated.
You're an agitated cow. Have a nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Forget about all this shit.
Bellicose cow.
Don't be agitated. You know, don't be agitated.
But part of it is because my back is killing me, and you know all about that.
Oh, well,
it doesn't exactly put you in a real great mood, and then you have to sit there with ice and heat alternating on your back and watch these assholes not even fucking try. And it's like, God damn it! If my bad back can sit here for 2.5 hours and watch this shit, you can try harder.
Yeah, and I'm watching it at fucking 3 in the morning, you cunts. So
There you go.
Go fuck yourselves.
All right, man. I got to get out of here. But Moose, thank you. I appreciate.
I'm going to be watching the Philadelphia 75ers and the Boston Retards. So
All right. Well, go Sixers, even though they're not going to win. But everybody, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks a lot for tolerating me. And hopefully things will get better.
You were on like a 25-minute uninterrupted roll. I mean, I was just like, I'm not even going to try to edge a comment in here because it ain't going to fit.
Yeah, I was one step
You were
away
on a
from the
roll.
Germans in Pearl Harbor.
You were on a roll. Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. You have yourselves a wonderful weekend. We'll be back again on Monday. We'll be talking about the rest of the Browns draft. And we'll also be talking.
Yeah. Who are these people and why are they in our lives?
And
That's what I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, and then we'll be talking about the Cavaliers and whether they can actually rise from the dead. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you on Monday. Until then, hasta la vista, Pastor Heads. Good night.